Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with super welterweight boxer Gabriel Stubbs, and he is 1-0, and he beat Berman Sanchez on your debut, which is he's a tough man, isn't he? Very
Yeah,
tough.
he was tricky. Yeah, he was tricky. He was tricky. And he had a go. He had a little bit of a go. You were there. What did you think of it?
I thought you did well. You needed what you needed to do. Yeah, jab, right hand straight back up because he is a power hitter, isn't he? Hard
Yeah,
hitter.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I thought you boxed really well, mate.
Thank you.
Well, what did you make of it of your performance?
I thought I stuck to the game plan well. I haven't boxed in a long time, to be honest with you, Sam. So it was more about I was more curious to see how I would be back in a competitive environment. So my main thing was just trying to kind of stick to the game plan and be technical. I wasn't really looking to try and stop him or anything like that. I was just trying to more get the rounds under my belt and get used to competing again.
Mm-hmm. So how long were you out of the ring for before that fight?
Last time I boxed was in 2017. So when is that? 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 6 years, nearly
And,
6 years.
and why is that? Is it because you just wanted a little bit of a break, or?
Well, I boxed in the amateurs from 16 to 23, and yeah, I just kind of had enough really. And then I went into coaching, so I was coaching for a good two and a half years, and then I decided to come back to boxing, and then of course COVID happened, so then it was delayed for another couple of years. So I wasn't planning to take. Well, yeah, I wasn't actually at all planning to come back to boxing, and then I got the itch again, and then
But
and then
you
obviously,
finally have made your debut, and now the debut's out the way.
yeah, the debut's out of the way now. Yeah, yeah.
What made you start boxing?
That's a good question. I found it very. I just tried it out, and I found it very difficult. Uh, I wasn't naturally good at it or kind of relaxed in boxing, and then it just made me keep wanting to come back and try more. I was a good athlete, but I wasn't a good a good boxer really. So I was naturally had a lot of athletic ability, but not really very good at kind of the skill aspects of it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how many? I know you only fought last weekend, but
Yeah.
how many more fights are you gonna aim to have this year?
Aim to have this year. Ideally, I would be happy with three more this year. Ideally four, but I'd be happy with three. I was meant at this to be honest, Sam. This was meant to be this would have been my fourth bout, and I had three before fall through.
Oh, nightmare!
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
What was it like working with Dean White?
Dean White. He was a great. Do you know what he was? He was he was very busy when I got there, so I didn't really chat to him for too much. So sorry, too long. But for how busy he was, and like how much it obviously looks very stressful running a show. For how chaotic it looked, he was very what's the word? I don't know, accommodating, and he answered all my questions. I was obviously quite anxious, to know where the weigh-in and everything was, and he was very helpful despite having a lot on at the time. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he was good. We got everything sorted out quickly, like all the money and the opponents, everything sorted out. We got the weigh-in done, and it was a nice show, wasn't it? It was a glossy show. Did you like the show?
He always puts on a good show, doesn't he,
Mm.
Dean?
Yeah, yeah, it looks good. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen it, like live and been there.
Yeah.
And it was a nice production. It was a very nice production.
So what was it like when you got told you were boxing first?
I was quite relieved actually. It was just nice to get it out of the way. And they stuck to the schedule. Well, I had a really good warm up. Because I take a long time to warm up, and they said when it was going to start, and it started more or less bang on the time. So it was ideal for me really, because it takes me about an hour to warm up, like 45 minutes, an hour, and so it was perfect.
So when did you have your hands wrapped and gloves are on? Like how long before the fight have you got those on?
That's a good question. I think it started just before 7, didn't it? The boxing, and I had my hands wrapped at just before 6. I'd finished and wrapped at just before 6.
Yeah. So you were just busy getting ready, like just.
Yeah, busy getting ready. Getting in the zone, kind of staying calm.
Were you happy with the amount of tickets you sold?
It was a little bit tricky for me because I had 2 fall through before.
I thought you said it was 3.
It was 3, but the last 2 that fell for before were very short notice. It was like 24 hours. The one before that was like quite a long time before the show, but the last 2 was like the last one was like at the fight, and the one before that was the day before the fight. So it was quite hard to sell tickets because kind of people's interest drop off. Do you know what I mean? So people kind of like, oh, okay, here we go again. So it was a little bit tricky this time, but it wasn't bad. I covered the cost pretty much, so it wasn't too bad. I'm grateful for everyone who came and supported. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Hopefully next time it will either be harder because it's the second fight, or it will be easier because I've got some material now and the ball's rolling. So we'll see.
And what month are you trying to get back out into the ring?
Hopefully April. I'm looking to get out in April.
Will that be on another Dean White show because he's got one booked in April, or you just never know what your options are?
I'm not sure. I have to talk to my manager. It would be nice to be on a Dean White show again, because it was a nice show, but it was a little bit far from where I am locally, so it was a little bit of a trek for everyone to get to. I'm from Southeast London, so maybe like hopefully your call, that would be nice. That'd be a bit easier for everyone.
Yeah, your call's good.
Yeah, your call's good. Yeah.
Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been there a bunch of times. Yeah, I've been there a bunch of times and watched people box. I would like to box there actually. It's a nice venue and a nice bit of history, isn't it? It'd be nice to say that you box there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you spar with Tom Brennan?
I do. Yeah, I sparred with Tom Brennan. Yeah, a few times. Yeah, he's really nice. He's very accommodating. He's had me in his gym a bunch of times. Yeah.
Yeah. He's fighting not next week, but the week after.
Yeah, I'll make sure I grab a ticket off him then. Yeah.
Well, if you are there, I'll see you there because I'm going as well.
All right, great. Yeah, I'll look out for you then. Look out for you. You're out and about a lot, aren't you, Sam? You're smashing it.
Yes, mate.
Busy man.
I try my best to go support the fighters because when they do these interviews with me, I try to go to their fights, because they spend their time. So I like watching the boxing. It's just always good.
Who do you box for?
I do box, but I don't really want to be like an amateur or anything.
Yeah.
Maybe in a few years, you never know, but I'll see how this kind of thing goes and we'll see.
Yeah. A good plan. It's a good plan.
Yeah. Did you watch the rest of the show afterwards, or were you too busy meeting people?
I kind of had I went back to the change room, had a bit of I spoke to my coaches about the performance and a bit of a decompress, and sort of kind of spent a little bit of time on my own just to sort of calm down a bit, because obviously it's quite a simulating experience, isn't it? So I was like kind of in the change room for a bit, just chatting to the coaches and kind of get my head back into the.
Were they happy with your performance?
I think so. Yeah, I think they were. Yeah, I was immediately afterwards. I wasn't very happy with it. So I can't really remember why. I think I just felt like I got hit with some silly shots that I shouldn't have got hit with. But
I thought that you were blocking quite a few on your guard, which was good because I was ringside and I could hear the impacts of his shots hitting your gloves. So it was like, I believe that it did land on your face.
Well, I'm glad that you thought that. That's good, because I was a little bit disappointed at the end of it, but that's good. I'm glad that you were close, weren't you? So that's good that you saw that and thought that.
It was good.
Yeah, no, I was happy with it. I watched it back a few days after, and I was happy with the performance. But at the time, I wasn't really sure.
Yeah, because you're always going to be your biggest critic because there's always something that you can be better on. Just that was your first fight. You've still got a long way to go. Just keep training hard and yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you, Sam. I appreciate it a lot. I watched a couple. Yeah, I watched a bit, but yeah, like you said, it was obviously the debut, so I was going around, rushing around, talking to people. So I didn't get to watch as many as I'd like to. I saw the next fight after a bit of it. I think it was was it heavyweights, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Tom Simmons. Yeah, well, heavyweight.
Simmons, yeah. Yeah. That looked like a proper scrap, that one, didn't it?
It was, yeah. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show. It was
Never
a very
fails
good show,
to disappoint.
yeah. Yeah.
So, are you who's your favourite boxers?
My favourite boxers at the moment, Bivol is my favourite. He's definitely my favourite. The Japanese guy, I can never say his name.
Inu.
Inu, there you go, Inu Naoya. Yeah, them two. Those are my favourite at the moment.
Are you happy? Did you see Bivol against Canelo?
I did, yeah.
Good performance from Bivol.
Very good performance, but very good fight actually.
It
Very
was.
good fight from both of them, I thought. But yeah, Bivol definitely won it.
But the right man won 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
So who do you want to see Bivol fight next? Beterbiev, Callum Smith?
Yeah, Beterbiev. I think that would be a really interesting fight, and maybe eventually Usyk. If he goes up or goes down. If he beats Beterbiev, then if Usyk comes down.
I know, but what's he called? He's a light heavyweight, isn't he, Bivol?
Yeah, but I think if they found a
catchweight, Usyk's easily. Well, he's practically still cruiserweight technically, and then Bivol, could just maybe jump up to cruiserweight because he is tall, isn't he?
He's quite tall. I think he's I think they're the same height actually. I think they're both 6'1". But I think I think that would be a huge fight with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia as well. It would be very it would be a big fight because of that as well. So there'd be a lot of politics behind it. So it'd be interesting.
It would be, yeah. And so do you not want to see Usyk Fury?
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I do want to see Usyk Fury. I think if anyone could beat Fury, it would be Usyk. I don't see anyone else. I don't know if he could. I don't know if he will. I mean, but I think if anyone could do it, it would be him. What about you? Who do you think?
I reckon. I mean, Usyk's got a shout. If Usyk was the same size as AJ, then I reckon it could be closer. But I don't know. I reckon if AJ gets, let's say he wins his upcoming fight against Jermaine Franklin, and then let's say, you never know, he beats White in the summer, then who knows, he could fight Fury. But I don't know if Fury wants the fight. Yeah. Because Fury just retires, then unretires. You just never know with Tyson Fury.
That's the thing. You never know, innit? You never know with him.
So if there was one fight out of just any fight you would like to see this year, what fight would it be?
Definitely Bivol and Beterbiev. Definitely that fight. I think that would be a really interesting.
What about Crawford, Errol Spence?
Yeah. I don't see that happening because Crawford. Did you see Crawford put out that video of him he talks about him trying to make the fight happen?
Oh, I haven't seen that. Can you send it to me after?
Yeah. I'll try and find it for you. I'll send it to you. But basically, Crawford, he breaks down. He tried to chase up the fight, and he breaks down his whole process of trying to make it happen, and it kept getting dead ends.
What, from Errol's side or his?
I think from Errol's side, and obviously in boxing, there's a lot of different loopholes and promotions and everything. You've got different what's the word? All the different belts and everything. So you've got it's very tricky. It's not like UFC, is it? Where it's just one governing body. It's like all these governing bodies. So
is your goal by the end of the year to have it a Southern area title? Or would you be looking at titles maybe next year or?
I think by the end of the year might be a bit fast. So I'd like to just keep getting experience, keep fighting different opponents and things like that.
How many more 4-rounders roughly would you want more? 3, 2?
Maybe 3. I think 3 is good. I think
Mm.
3. I'll have to talk to my coaches. They know best. They know best.
Who's your trainer? Well, coach.
I've got. I'm very lucky. I've got a couple. I've got a guy called Peter Liggins, who is a trainer, a coach at Dale Youth, and he has his own gym in West London called Box Clever. And then I've got another trainer, who's my mate, who boxed at a very, very high level in the amateurs, called Max. Yeah, so he helps me as well. So
That's good, mate. And
yeah, it's good.
before I let you go, my final question is: do you have any advice for someone who wants to be a boxer?
I would say my first thought when you ask that would be don't rush it, don't rush the process. It would be find yourself a good club, and then don't rush into becoming a pro. Take your time in the amateurs, try and build up a good pedigree, good experience. And yeah, I think the most important thing is finding good coaches and then just sticking with them and having faith in them. But yeah, definitely not to rush.
And do you want to shout? Sorry, before you go, do you want to shout out manager, coach, just anyone?
Yeah, sure. I'll shout out. Well, I've said my coaches, so I'll leave there. But yeah, I would like to say a big thank you to the photographers there, my friend Charlie Hyams and Dennis I'm going to say his name wrong, McIntley, for shooting the event, and shout out to Mickey Elliott for matching the fight for me as well. Yeah, my manager Mickey Elliott. And yeah, thank you, Sam. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been really nice.
Any time, mate. And yeah, just keep going, mate.
Thanks a lot. You too. Keep at it, and hopefully I'll see you at your call. Yeah.
Yes, mate.
Cool.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye.